I am always interested in hearing someone who's big on YouTube and what, in their experience, what the worst comment they've ever had has been. I was just it's such an interesting question because I just
I
have
have
to
a
laugh.
collection. I can't, because it's like you have to think of categories. I've got the ones where it's, do you even own a hairbrush, or, you're showing too much or you're showing too little, or, how inappropriate you made your model dress, or like, I don't know. So like that's that category. And then the other category is, how I'm just such a shill because I, get paid sometimes, or I can't have an opinion. You can't tell me anything about this Canon camera because you're a Canon Explorer of Light. I'm like, oh, okay, that means I can't have opinion. Or um, my super favorites are the ones who like, and I'm not a snot like this, but like, you don't know who I am, and you just said that. The ones are like, oh, what was it? You know what? You just sound like a newbie, and you just need to pick up a camera and learn, sweetie.
Who are
I
these
don't know.
people? It's just, yeah. I mean, you're doing the right thing, laughing at it, but it does dig.
Oh, I don't
You're right.
always.
No, it does
You
get.
you could take the, girl out of Jersey, but you can't take the Jersey out of the girl. Like, I pipe back. If somebody is flat out wrong, and God forbid they made a grammar mistake in there, like you are you are going down.
Have you had any legal battles or legal issues with either YouTube or your photos or copyright?
I have. I just did a video about it recently, talking about how I did sue someone once and did win a $10,000 award. It was either 10 or 20. Is that long ago? I can't even remember because I split it down the middle with my lawyer. That's how we got paid. So I was like, did I win 20 and then only got 10? Or was it we won 10 and I got 5? Like, I just lost track. But yeah, so I've definitely done that.
Are you able to talk about it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could watch the long story, but I had a wedding venue who had some photos of mine that I did provide them for social media. Very specifically said, you can put these on social media or even your website. Please credit me. If you want to use them for print or anything else, please contact me. And then someone was like, hey, I saw your photo in a magazine. I knew it was yours the second I saw it. And I'm like, first of all, great compliment. Second of all, what? And they used the photo for a print ad, full page print ad in a magazine. And yeah, they were not allowed. They made excuses. I sued them as well as the magazine company, and then settled out of court. And it's like there's a lot of comments on there, and I kind of agree with all of them. And it was my mindset at the time too, and still is my mindset. Like, should I stand up for photographers' copyright and make a point out of this for other artists? Yeah, I probably should. Is it nice to win that much for a photograph and not really doing anything else? Yeah, probably. But did I ruin that relationship with the hall? Did I ruin that relationship with the magazine? Because those are consequences of winning any legal battle, is you ruin relationships. So, I don't know.
How good was that relationship going to be though if they're going to take advantage?
Who knows? Who knows? At the time, there were one of the most booked wedding halls, so if I had a good relationship with them, could I book a ton more work with them? Yeah. Maybe it would have been worth, $100,000, not just $10,000. I don't know. It's hypothetical. This is if the, what is it? If the tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yeah, but then you got to think about your principles, right? More than anything else, and where
My
do you
principles.
stand on that? Yeah. Have principles. So, what were the comments saying about it? Then you said you agree with the comments. Which side were they erring
Well,
on?
those were all of it, all of it. For the most part, they were airing on I did the right thing, and yeah, but yeah. Nah, let's see. Damon yelled. Yeah, someone insulted me, called me a liar in that YouTube video because I couldn't remember if it was 10,000 or 20,000. So they said, well, the validity of your story is completely thrown out the window now because you can't remember that. You should have done more research before making your video. And now we can't believe anything else you say.
These people just
Okay.
need to get lives. Like, why? How do you have the time and energy to make comments like that? But yeah,
I
okay.
don't know. I don't know. Why are
Um,
you watching a liar?
Speaking of energy, and you mentioned burnout a couple of times. You've had burnout. Can you? I think it can be very relevant to my audience, who a lot of people I speak to on this show, they have experienced it, and they don't necessarily know how A, they either got out of it, or B, to prevent it again. Because like we talked about at the beginning, this is an individual kind of pursuit. It's photography. It's like, if I don't take that job, when am I going to be paid next? Right. And when can I scale it, et cetera, et cetera. So we know how we get into it, but tell us about your most recent experience, how you, maybe you've got some tips and tricks of how you get out of it, and maybe how you go about preventing it.
I actually do. I'm surprised people don't notice how they got into it or how to prevent it and then how they got out of it, because I think every time I go through burnout, those are the 2 points I remember the most. Maybe I'm just protecting myself and I don't feel like remembering all the times I was in the fetal position on the floor. But the the getting out of it, not that it's easy, but it's simple. To me, it's always been, what can I micro focus on right now to stop looking at the macro, right? Or to stop even being so self-centered as to woe is me. So I once was, involved, making sure I'm really involved in the people that I'm photographing. Other times it was when I learned flash photography. It's like, I am so burned out and bored because I'm really good at this natural light thing. Let me do something different. And sometimes it is those wedding trends. That's definitely been a new one. And then when you feel it coming on, and this is something I think everybody can feel it coming on. Like, you don't want to walk out that door, or you wish you were able to go to whatever party that all of your friends and family are going to, and you can't. You kind of see it coming. But when you see it coming, I've decided one of the things that keeps us going in a career for so long is understanding that your why changes, and it's allowed to. So we've all probably heard that tech talk, right? The why. Got to find your why. And that's the center of your universe, the center of your marketing strategy. It's all about your why. When I first heard that, which I think that TED talk came out probably 20 years ago at this point, I remember thinking, okay, well, my why is whatever it was. I was married, I think, at the time, or dating, no kids. So my why was, let's just say, to take over the world. And that was my why. And then when I got pregnant, I remember being kind of aghast at the thought that that wasn't going to be my why anymore. Because, ew, my why is going to be the kid. I'm going to be that mom that just throws everything away and only cares about their kid and cancels plans because of their kid. Like, when you're single and you don't have kids, like, you're disgusted by this. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just that's your life circumstance, your worldview at that time. And it took me a while to realize that your whys can change, and probably should change. And that's okay. It doesn't take away who you are as an artist or as a human being. It just shows your evolution. So I think embracing that when you see burnout coming, like, you know what? Maybe I need a shift in my why, and starting to evaluate that again and maybe correct course.
Very, very interesting. And how much of the self-care and internal health, internal practices, habits go into that process, or just a normal process of staying as good a photographer as you can be?
Matt, I said I had kids. So I wake up, I check the nasty YouTube comments, and then the screaming. So there's no,
So you have online screaming
there's no,
to,
yeah, in person screaming and then clients screaming. No, I was just listening to someone say how they meditate 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. That is not me. I'd like it to be me. I'd love to be more prayerful and reading and all of it, but to me, it just comes when it comes. So that being said, I have done a much better job at self-care, like physical self-care. I just celebrated 52 straight weeks of making sure I worked out at least once a week, every single week, even while traveling, 130 some odd days for that year. So I do work on that a lot, and what I'm eating, because I found burnout comes a lot faster when you physically do not like yourself and you physically feel sluggish and weak. For me, weak is a big thing. I don't like to feel weak.